Wallabies coach Michael Cheika says Matt Toomua may now feature in the opening Bledisloe Cup match against the All Blacks. Toomua has made a surprise appearance as well as a late push for a Wallabies bench spot in a Bledisloe Cup trial game at Sydney's Leichhardt Oval on Friday night. Toomua, who on Wednesday signed a 2.5-year deal with Australia and the Melbourne Rebels, started at 5/8 in the Cheika's choice team in their 57-12 win over an Australian super selection. Toomua kicked 3 conversions and directed play well before coming off in the 52nd minute, the same time as Cheika's captain David Pocock. There had been doubt over whether Toomua, who is also contracted to English club Leicester, was eligible to play in the game, and the man himself didn't want to talk after the match. He'd been back in Australia for a bit, but I didn't know what I was going to do there and I sort of called it last minute, Cheika said, because I think it would be good for him to get some time, especially if he's going to be available to play in the first competitive match, that being the Bledisloe. The All Blacks will face Australia in Sydney on August 18th in the first match of the Cup Series in the Rugby Championship. Halfback Will Genia played most of the second half in his first game for almost 7 weeks after breaking an arm in the June Test series against France. He set up a try for Jordan Petaya with a neat crossfield kick and moved around the field well. I knew I'd done the work in terms of my conditioning to be up for it, and I just feel a lot better for having that hit out, Genia said. Cheika felt the trial was a worthwhile exercise and was pleased with the efforts of several players, including forwards Lucan Tui, Jermaine Ainsley and fullback Tom Banks, who saved 2 tries and scored 1. It was a physical game and some of our established players got to get a good hit out, Cheika said. Some of our newer players are some guys who are on the fringes or haven't been selected in the June series, I think put their hands up. Utility back Reece Hodge had a solid game in the outside centre spot, which is up for grabs after injuries to Samu Kerevi and Tevita Kuridrani. Curtis Rona will come in now probably to the squad, and he and Hodge will compete for the position, Cheika said. We'll have a look at a few other options, but you'd have to think it's narrowing down to between those 2 guys. Prop Scott Sio came off the field early as a precaution after aggravating a shoulder issue he brought into camp. I'll also marked the return to rugby of Wallabies prop James Slipper, who put in a solid shift for the super side in his first hit-out since completing a 2-month ban for violating Rugby Australia's illicit drugs policy, AAP, promoted stories recommended by